You're walking down a busy street lost in thought. A car backfires nearby. You flinch, your heart slamming against your ribs. Now imagine a different scene. You are the one who slammed the car door shut. The sound is just as loud. But your body doesn't jump. Your heart stays calm. Why does one sudden noise seize your entire nervous system, while an identical noise you produced yourself barely registers? The obvious answer is that you expected it. But the real answer is far stranger. And it exposes a hidden superpower your brain has been wielding every moment of your life without your permission. Your brain is a prediction machine. Every time you decide to move, speak, or even imagine moving, it generates an internal copy of that motor command. This copy, known as an efference copy, races to a simulation center that forecasts the sensory outcome of your action. It whispers, "Don't worry, this incoming sound is just me, ignore it." That is why you cannot truly surprise yourself. The real surprise is that without this mechanism, you would not survive a single day. For decades, neuroscientists have hunted for the source of this self-cancellation. In the 1970s, split-brain research by Dr. Michael Gazzaniga revealed that the left hemisphere narrates our actions, while the right hemisphere processes raw sensation. But the real wizard hides at the back of your skull. It is the cerebellum, a fist-sized structure containing over half of all the neurons in your brain. This mini-brain builds a real-time simulation of your body's next move. It factors in your muscle tension, your posture, your environment, and it predicts exactly what that movement should feel like, sound like, and even smell like. A fraction of a second later, when sensory reports flood back from your limbs, eyes, and ears, the cerebellum compares the prediction to the actual input. If they match, the signal is silenced. That is why you do not constantly feel the pressure of your own feet on the floor as you walk. Your brain saves its precious attention for the unexpected. This process is called sensory attenuation. It is not limited to touch. It is why you do not hear your own heartbeat unless it stumbles. Why your own voice, recorded inside your head, sounds alien to you on a playback. Why a self-applied caress feels like almost nothing, while the faintest brush from another person can electrify your skin. Your brain is a self-canceling machine. It subtracts you from the world, so that the world can stand out in sharp relief. But this prediction system, for all its speed, can be tricked. And when it is, the illusion dismantles everything you think you know about your own body. In the classic rubber hand experiment by Botvinnik and Cohen, a person's real hand is hidden, while a fake rubber hand sits in full view. Both are stroked with a paintbrush at the same time. Within 2 minutes, the brain takes the bait. It sees the brush moving on the rubber hand, feels the strokes on the hidden hand, and concludes the rubber limb must be part of the body. The person's actual hand begins to feel oddly foreign. This is not a parlor trick. It proves that your brain's map of the self is a live, editable guess, and it can be rewritten almost instantly. From an evolutionary standpoint, this filter is a lifesaver. Picture your ancestor foraging on the open savanna. A twig cracks. If every snap triggered a panic attack, they would collapse from exhaustion. But if the snap came from their own step, and their brain could cancel the alarm, they could stay calm and vigilant for real predators. The ability to distinguish self-caused sensations from environmental threats is one of the most ancient and vital survival tools. Animals that lack this precision suffer. Crickets, for example, have a dedicated neural circuit that silences their hearing when they chirp. Without it, the loudness of their own call would overwhelm their sensors, making it impossible to hear an approaching male or a hungry bat. In humans, when the efference copy system breaks down, the consequences are terrifying. Many symptoms of schizophrenia, for instance, may arise from a failure to cancel self-generated thoughts, causing patients to hear their own inner voice as an external command. The development of this self-filter happens slowly. Research by Dr. Sarah Jane Blakemore shows that sensory attenuation matures throughout childhood. Young children are far more likely to be startled by their own movements because their cerebellar prediction circuits are still under construction. Meanwhile, Dr. Daniel Wolpert's lab revealed that the cerebellum does not just predict sensations. It also tweaks your movements on the fly, using the same internal model to correct errors the instant they occur, giving you that seamless feeling of effortless control. The story gets even deeper. A tiny brainstem nucleus called the inferior olive sends error signals that help the cerebellum sharpen its predictions over time. And another region, the temporoparietal junction, fuses your body's internal signals with the layout of space around you, creating the powerful sensation that you are a self, sitting right behind your eyes. Neuroscientist Dr. Olaf Blanke stimulated this junction in patients during brain surgery. They reported surreal experiences, floating above the operating table, looking down at their own body. The localization of the self, it turns out, is just another prediction. When the data gets scrambled, you can literally feel yourself slip out of your own head. Today, you are no longer dodging lions on the savannah, but your prediction engine is still running hot. Its influence touches your social anxieties, your technology use, and your mental health. Have you ever worn noise-canceling headphones and felt a slight dizziness? That unease comes from a sensory mismatch. Your ears report silence, but your cerebellum expects the sound of your own footsteps. The conflict triggers a subtle, ancient alarm. The same principle makes virtual reality feel real. When you lift your physical hand and see a digital hand move in perfect sync, your brain's predictive model claims ownership of the avatar. The boundary between your body and the simulation evaporates. Even your most persistent worries are carved by this mechanism. When you agonize over what someone else thinks of you, you are running a prediction of their judgment. But because that imagined voice does not come with its own efference copy, your brain cannot cancel it. It arrives as a foreign signal, sharp and threatening. The voice of self-criticism is the sound of a prediction your cerebellum never learned to filter out. So the next time you jolt at a sudden noise, remember, your brain knew it wasn't you. That split-second identification is the legacy of millions of years of survival. Your brain's greatest feat is not just thinking, it is knowing what to ignore. And the single most important thing it learns to ignore is itself.